Hi, welcome back to Gitex TV. Now, one of the big conversations that we've been having here at Gitex is all about permission-based marketing. We've got all the big data out there. We've also found ways of putting things in the cloud. But when you're creating a smart city and reaching your customer, is that really the customer that wants that stuff, or are you effectively spamming them? Now, permission-based marketing is going to be part of a new conversation that will go on. And to shed some more light on that, we're joined by Nadia Gonzalez, who's the Vice President for Mobile Marketing for Gemalto. Nadia, do you think people are taking enough care to look after the way that they reach their potential customers?
Thank you. Definitely, this is one of the biggest concerns in the market of the different users, consumers, whatever you can say. 99%, for example, of the UAE residents, after our survey, we could identify have received spams in their life. And definitely none of them want to receive spam. So do they really want this information? Do they really want this promotion? Always being bothered, annoyed, and skeptical on the information they receive and their privacy. Definitely today, as Gemalto, as we engage with more than 400 mobile operators in the world, we are working and trying to be relevant, trying to be a reference in the market to make sure we protect the end users' privacy and be transparent with them. So today what we try to implement is the four main best practices we can have on the market based on permission. Definitely permission is the first word. How the customer can opt in, decide to receive the information, decide to engage with the MNO, with the brand, with the retailer, how also this information is transparent, making sure that the consumer, the user, can identify who is sending the message, also identify how they can get out of the engagement with the brand, because it's not only being engaged, but how I can make sure that I can stop whenever I want, and also, end of the day, how we protect the privacy. Whatever the engagement, the privacy of the customer needs to be secured. And as Gemalto, we need to be a reference. We are one of the leaders in digital security. We cannot afford to lose this credibility, and we need to make sure consumer first.
Do you think this is a teething problem with the fact that we've changed so quickly into a digital age? Once upon a time, companies would just put billboards out, they put advertising on TV, radio, magazines, and it was all straight in the face of a potential customer. Now you can reach them even more targeted. They've still got the same mindset that they had the right to do so. Do you think that's why people are getting so much spam nowadays?
Yeah, because from the TV, the newspapers, the radio, whenever you want to switch off or to look somewhere else, it's quite easy. Today you have your mobile phone at your arm's reach 24 hours a day. So whenever it's ringing, moving, vibrating or whatever, you're always looking at it and having it with you. You're looking at your phone 2 hours a day, mainly, as the TV. And you are always stuck to it because it's for relevant information, but also for urgencies, also for whatever your company may tell you, your family. So it's really intrusive. It's today very personal, can be very efficient, but can be very bothering. Some people told me the other day, I prefer to have a dumb phone instead of having a smartphone. Imagine how intrusive it could be.
And that's counterintuitive to everything that Gitex and the technical world is moving towards. And let's just look at that one point, because Gemalto have got an uphill struggle convincing people exactly about the dangers of spamming, which is effectively what we're talking about. What are the dangers of reaching people who haven't asked for permission for marketing to you?
So the marketing revolution is definitely changing the decision process of the consumers. So spamming is a risk, but end of that is also having people consuming or buying without being informed what they are doing through their mobile phone. When you are promoting goods, obviously on the web, people know what they are doing. But when you're on a phone, you can have one click to decide what you are going to do. If it's information, it's fine. But if you're consuming services, to subscribe to a service, to subscribe to an information, you need to make sure that information is very clear. And obviously, you're not going to go through all the small letters in the insurance contracts you may have. So you need to be very clear, very focused to make sure you will be as close as possible to the relevance of the message the consumer needs. So it's protecting the privacy of the people and also making sure the data they will share with you will be just with you, and then you are engaging with the consumer as well as he's engaging with you to make sure that you are protecting his data and his privacy.
But how can you enforce this? How can you regulate a Wild West industry where ultimately the mindset of the marketers is the more people you reach, the more successful the campaign has been?
I guess this is still under process on this, how to, in this mobile, in the marketing revolution, how we can definitely bring the best practices. And today we are trying to engage the MNOs in these best practices. They are our customers, we know them. We are working also with brand, advertisers, retailers, we soon are starting to understand that if they kill the channel, there will be no channel for anyone anymore. And we are not just talking about volume, we are trying to talk about speed, obviously, but efficiency and security. So we need to make sure that we are protecting the channel and making sure that for everyone, and first the customer, it's a valuable channel.
But this sends out a big message to everybody from the telecom providers to all the app creators that selling the information about people might be lucrative for big data, but it's actually very bad for the companies if they use that in the wrong way.
Definitely, and you can see the big scandals that have been on the last months on whatever data can be used from whom and for what, and sometimes upon no real request or meaning information. You can see that more than 10 years ago, at the big boom of internet in the year 2000, 2001, everybody was taking care about the cookies you may have on your computer, removing any cookie and so on, and then people got used to internet and they accepted the cookie, etc., etc. People are now looking again back to these cookies and to this information and how to protect their data on their internet. I guess we need to use this new renewal trend about security on the mobile phone to make sure that also on the mobile phone we are keeping the security. This goes through regulation sometimes also, which sometimes can scare the brands and the advertisers, the marketers. Oh, regulation, our business is going to die. Sometimes those kind of things create new opportunities to be wiser, to differentiate from your competition, saying, okay, regulation could be a risk, but somehow it's the opportunity for brands and advertisers or MNOs to say, yes, but we are reliable and we can be trusted agents. And this is mainly where we stand.
That comes down to ultimately education for the people who will be marketing to understand who their avatar is, who their client really is, so then they can only reach those people and not just try to go for people who have no interest in their product. Are they going to buy into that?
So what we need to do into that is obviously big data is very key, and what are all the software we put behind the big data and what is the information that's going to be used. That's why the permission and all the information we can share with the consumers is the only information that will be traced. As of today, for example, we never match the name of a user on the phone with their phone number and all their data. It's always completely protected by the MNOs. So today we don't have access, the brands don't have access. The brands, if they have an opt-in database, we use the brand's database. We are not using the MNO's database, which is the most secure one, and for which we definitely play on the secure software part as Gemalto.
But surely when you have most people signing up for an app or a website just through their Facebook ID or their Twitter ID, all that information already exists, and it's not that hard to create an algorithm to take it straight out. So is it possible to find a time in the future where people can find themselves more protected, or has it already been done and your stuff is out there regardless?
So today, definitely, when you're talking about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and whatever, the people know exactly for what they are going, right? I mean, people also should be responsible. You cannot be always behind the people to protect them from themselves. But definitely, as a role of the MNO, of Gemalto, of the brands, is to make sure at least when the customer is engaging with them, it's just with them. Then for whatever happens on the web, I guess it's a wider topic, and for sure regulation will need to make the link between what we are doing on the mobile, on the web, and how is the people's responsibility protected.
You've got a very busy time ahead. Do you think it's ever going to get sorted out, or is it a case of just seeing how it develops?
Yeah, for sure. We are here for that, to understand how we can improve, and it's under process on this marketing revolution due to the mobile. And thanks for that, a lot of opportunities, risk on the privacy, but definitely we are there to secure that and to make sure we are not going too fast or as fast as the market, because sometimes could create a lot of disruption that is not expected from the customer, which end of the day, it's at the center of the process.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.